Look, I was wrong. I roasted the upcoming Fantastic Four movie before it came out. Now, I kinda owe everyone an apology, but I will say this, there was a thing or two I was right about. To me, the Fantastic Four wasn't perfect compared to the past MCU movies we've seen so far, but it is the best Fantastic Four movie to date. So yeah, I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. But before we move on, please be sure to give a like and subscribe to Reverb Comics. You don't want to miss out on our awesome content. And spoilers, of course, for Marvel's Fantastic Four. So I'll start off with what I liked, and then I'll dig into what I thought didn't work. The first thing that I liked was the narrative structure. Instead of having a bunch of flashbacks, this movie had a solid beginning, middle, and end. There was a bit of exposition at the beginning of the movie. The movie started off explaining how the Fantastic Four got their powers and what they've been doing for the past 4 years, but this was pretty forgivable given the fact that this lasted for only a minute or two. So yeah, the movie did a solid job of introducing us to the Fantastic Four, showing us the family dynamics, the threat they were up against, and the classic big battle against the bad guy. The characterizations were really solid. I thought everyone did a solid job in their roles. I like how Johnny Storm was actually smart and useful in this movie. In past versions, like the Chris Evans version, he was just a jerk and pretty much just fooled around a lot. And he did try to make the sacrifice plays in the movie. So I feel as though his Human Torch will be everyone's favorite in the MCU going forward.
I'm listening.
She can lick my goddamn cinnamon ring clean and kick rocks all the way to bald hell. In fact, I don't give a shit if she removes all my skin and pops me like some nightmarish blood balloon. If the last thing I do in this godforsaken cum-gutter existence is light that fuckbox on fire, I still won't die happy.
Holy shit, girl, you crazy.
That's right, Wade.
He did a solid job of figuring out the Silver Surfer's language to get through to her, so it was nice how he was integral to the plot of this movie. Vanessa Kirby did a great job as Sue Storm. She showed off her maternal instincts, and she really felt like the glue that held the team together. And she had a really badass moment pushing Galactus into that teleportation device. As we all know, that put a massive strain on her. So much so that she died and Franklin Richards had to bring her back to life. Ebon was pretty great as the Thing. I was surprised that he was not struggling with the fact that he's stuck as a rock monster for the rest of his life. It's nice that he's happy and accepted that side of himself. It was also nice seeing that romance subplot that he had with that teacher. Seeing his interpersonal relationships made us really care about the guy. And Pedro Pascal did a solid job as Reed Richards. To me, he felt like the time runs out version of the character. It was really interesting depicting him as a guy who anticipates every terrible thing and tries his best to solve the problem before it ever happens. And it was really nice to see that there was a healthy dynamic between everyone on the team. And let's not forget Ralph Ineson's Galactus. He was just awesome. He really felt like a major threat. And I have a lot of great things to say about the cinematography. To me, it was perfect and really fantastic. The retro 1960s and comic booky vibe was really different and unique. I definitely think that the creative team deserves credit for being so ambitious with the look and feel of the movie. They paid homages to the very first cover of the Fantastic Four, and it was really nice to see that Marvel finally gave credit to Jack Kirby. A lot of people believe that he was the driving creative force behind Marvel's success, so it was nice that he finally got credit in a really big way. The universe that the Fantastic Four is on, Universe 828, is a reference to Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28th, 1917. All in all, I thought it was a solid movie. It definitely felt like Marvel played it safe this time. Instead of having our heroes fighting each other like we saw in Civil War, Fantastic Four, of course, are just fighting a bad guy who really wants to destroy the world. Now, in terms of the issues that I had with this movie, I do stand by one thing that I said. After seeing this movie, I still think it was ridiculous that Sue Storm went on a space mission while she was pregnant. Even though Sue is more powerful than Reed, Johnny, or Ben, I think Mr. Fantastic should have put his foot down and told her to stay home.
Susan, stop this nonsense at once! I am in no mood to put up with your silly drivel!
Outer space missions are super dangerous, so a pregnant woman should not be doing that sort of thing. And the plot needed her to go on that mission so that Galactus could find out about Franklin Richards. If she didn't go into outer space, Galactus would have never bargained to spare the Earth in exchange for Franklin's life. Which brings me to the next issue that I have with this movie. It was really plot driven. Nobody in the movie except for Shia LaBeouf had a solid character arc. In the first Iron Man movie, Tony goes from being a selfish playboy billionaire to a selfless hero. In the new Fantastic Four movie, everyone pretty much stays the same. They all start out as smart heroes, and they all pretty much end up the same. The only difference now is that they're able to barely deal with a really big cosmic threat like Galactus. In fairness, they were pushed to their breaking point with their fight with Galactus, and Johnny Storm at least tried to sacrifice himself twice in the movie, so he did get some character moments. And they were all put in a tough moral conundrum. They all had to decide whether or not they should give up Franklin to save the Earth. Their choice on that says a lot about their character, but none of them got a solid arc like Shia LaBeouf did in the movie. At first, she was the herald of Galactus, helping them destroy planets, and then after Johnny figured out her language and her planet's history, Shia LaBeouf had a change of heart and rebelled against Galactus. She pretty much saved the day. I don't think Johnny was powerful enough to knock Galactus into that portal. And like I said earlier, I like how the Thing had a nice romance sorta with that teacher. It's just that subplot didn't really lead to anything. Who knows, maybe she'll be his girlfriend in the sequel. Now, to me, Franklin Richards wasn't a problem in this movie, but I really hope that he won't be a problem in future Marvel movies. When you introduce a character that's as powerful as Franklin Richards, stories can run into some problems. Franklin can create pocket dimensions, alter reality, and at one point in the comics, he made Galactus his herald. So yeah, he makes Scarlet Witch look weak. I feel as though the creatives will put a limit on his powers or find a way to nullify them like what they did with the Sentry and the Thunderbolts. Because when a character is that powerful, there's pretty much no story. There's nothing that can stop a Franklin Richards in his prime. I will say this though, the post-credit scene was perfect. I found it funny how Doctor Doom's face wasn't shown. Marvel probably saved a lot of money not showing RDJ's face at the end of Fantastic Four. And fun fact, for those of you who don't know, RDJ actually auditioned to play Doctor Doom in the old Chris Evans Fantastic Four movie, so it's crazy to think that he's playing Doctor Doom right now.
And I remember you had all met with him already for like Doctor Doom or something on another project. I think I think he had come through on a maybe
Right.
Fantastic Four.
Right.
That must have been a full circle moment for him. I heard a rumor online that RDJ's Doctor Doom will create a type of tech that will change his face. And who better to turn into than the guy who saved the universe? I can definitely see the MCU characters trusting Doctor Doom at first if that's the case. It's interesting that Doctor Doom wants Franklin. I imagine he'll try and use his power to enslave the multiverse or something like that. I will say this though, I hope they explain why Doctor Doom did not help the Fantastic Four fight off against Galactus. The thing about Doctor Doom is that in his own mind he sees himself as a hero. It's tricky to describe, but in his mind dictatorship prevails. He's smart enough to figure out how to solve all of society's problems, but in doing so he takes away everyone's freedom. So if that's what they're going for in terms of his characterization, they're gonna have to explain why he didn't help the Fantastic Four take down Galactus. Who knows, maybe in this continuity he doesn't have any powers yet. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. All in all, Fantastic Four was great. To me, it felt too plot driven, but it made up for everything in a lot of different ways. We already saw the Thing struggling with the fact that he's a rock monster, so I guess we don't need to see that again. And I want to say this before I forget, I loved the last post-credit scene. I love how they made a completely new cartoon that paid homage to the 1960s cartoon. I think it's really smart that the creatives paid homage to the history of the Fantastic Four. This makes me feel really reassured that the Fantastic Four is in safe hands in the future. I hope we'll get to see more character moments from the Fantastic Four in future Marvel movies, which will more than likely happen. They're going to be in the next 2 Avengers movies, and the Fantastic Four will probably get a sequel. But what do you think? Did you like the Fantastic Four? What do you think Marvel could have done better? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. As always, thanks a million for watching. Please be sure to give a like and subscribe to Reverb Comics so that you won't miss out on our awesome content. Stay groovy.
I have never said any of those words in my entire life.
The modesty. People think I'm a shit talker, but this guy, next level.
What? I don't even know what half of that means.